We stand firm and never flee, my brothers got my back. One nation that's built on brotherhood. And understand we despise all your lies. You feeling froggy, bitch, we wish you. If you feeling froggy, then bitch sleep. You never really war till you been at war with a real priest. Don't get it twisted, cause you heard with sheep. Our God's a man of war, and when we go to war, we undefeated. If you feeling froggy, then bitch sleep. You never really war till you been at war with a real priest. Don't get it twisted, cause you heard with sheep. Our God's a man of war, and when we go to war, we undefeated. Strapped up and booted up. Oh yeah, you need more backup to come get at us. So prepare, 144 rebel giving command. So Shemai, you hear Karab by my nigga, somebody about to die. Always remember the Kentucky hate. And when Captain Desarion make them bodies drop, you bitches hate. The traits of cowards is seen all on your faces. Woe to your religions and to all other nations. Christianity, Islam, including your Masons. Scientology, Egyptology, all be faking. Killing your philosophies, your doctrine is forbidden. Turning niggas in for some checkers, making it ever snitches. Our breed is different, we've been bred by warriors. Our mission efficient, together the warriors. So be puffed up and get fucked up all the same. You decided to cross the line and found out it wasn't no game. If you're feeling froggy, then bitch sleep. You never really war till you been at war with a real priest. Don't get it twisted, cause you heard with sheep. Our God's a man of war, and when we go to war, we undefeated. If you're feeling froggy, then bitch sleep. You never really war till you been at war with a real priest. Don't get it twisted, cause you heard with sheep. Our God's a man of war, and when we go to war, we undefeated.
Nigga, this payback for every cracker that ever whipped the slave back. For the poor people in church watching the pastor push a Maybach. For the watered down doctrine, that shit washed up like Ajax. Cause major pain like Damon Wayne, but I'm bulletproof and I stay scrapped. Don't call the truth a lie, you a coon nigga to say that. Make a clown and move around fast, cause bitch homie don't play that. Am I there for your enemy, cause I'm pro-black and I'm stating facts up. Is it cause I'm in a UPK with them hood niggas is safe at? I knew you want me in a straight jacket, a chained up. Went through biological warfare, I didn't fuck my brain up. Surrounded by all these real niggas, you ask me what I changed for, and why I got no love for the oppressor who detained us. You don't see them same niggas was gang members and clutching Glocks on the block. Found the truth and found the strength to fucking stop. When you get that light in you, you gon' get that fight in you. Waiting on them chariots, cause I'm trying to take flight of them. 1West.
If you feeling froggy, then bitch sleep. You never really war till you been at war with a real priest. Don't get it twisted, cause you heard with sheep. Our God's a man of war, and when we go to war, we undefeated. If you feeling froggy, then bitch sleep. You never really war till you been at war with a real priest. Don't get it twisted, cause you heard with sheep. Our God's a man of war, and when we go to war, we undefeated.
Yeah. They make me go again. Yeah. Yo, a 1West to the death. Yeah. Fuck everything else. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. Everything sign and seal. Then I tell me say she love the deal. Yeah. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. If I don't know you picking my youth, me I tell you no straight out. And I'm in business. Yeah. Man, I move real heavy. 20 man, I jump out a couple Chevy. Well, serious. Man, no look happy. Wrong move, turn a boy in a dopey. Them a waste, man. Them a talk about me, but me no care, man. After everything else, me still be upon. Cause your truth, me attack at the truth, and the part me a stay on. Yeah. Delivered it on fire. Everything up in the air like fire, bonfire. But I can't tell ya how I am dead, so let them have to rise in power. Liar, Sha'Allah. This year one for all my brothers and my sisters. We get caught off early. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she really love all the changes. If I don't know you picking my youth, me I tell me straight out. And I'm my business. Yeah. Big boots on me braids, man. Yeah, me not left me shades on. Special type of gun for this occasion. Hardcore, can't tip on me right hand. Everything talking real neat. Tell a boy I come just through him, no see this great. Him a trouble for breed. I am no shot. Me conscience it a speak. Rats and snakes them throat get slit. Yeah, me give them the realness. Don't start freak out when 200 million of me niggas them out. Yeah, shot in a face, shot in a mouth. Rise it up, balance the soul reaper. Make evil stay far. Yeah, well, I know what I'm say. Are the truth though? I saw the thing though, man. Move. Big boot on my fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. If I don't know you picking my youth, me I telling no straight out. And I'm my business. Big boot on my fringes. Big boot on my fringes. Boot on my fringes. Yeah, I'm told. 1West and nothing else.
Someone who's a crypto or blood or a drug addict in the street, they don't know anything about the Bible or God. They're cold. Then it's us. In the UPK, we are what? Hot. That's us.
Straight out of 1West, I'm too hot. My grandma keep on telling me I need to cool out. Quick to pull the scriptures out, pull the tool out. It's the home of the truth, my nigga, and you not hot, hot, hot. We hot, 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 hot. We hot, 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 hot. We hot, 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 hot. How many fake groups must get dissed before they really figure out who the Lord is with? I'm about to burn Babylon with these bars of spit. Niggas swearing they won't beef, well let's start some shit. I roll with warriors with swords and sticks, so keep stepping. Without a mind shit, this brotherhood is a weapon. We sanctuary protected, head for Armageddon. Told them niggas no sweat, but these other niggas is sweating. Ain't take the heat, nigga get out the kitchen. Ain't nothing these niggas saying you can find in the scriptures. They still in our breakdowns and trying to convert a gripper, trying to do the Lord's work, but he fell in love with his stripper. We can't afford to be playing around with the Lord. It's my God, faith and baptism on one accord. If you ain't a hot nigga, you might as well hit the morgue. My niggas gonna stand firm while you niggas fall on your sword. I'm too hot. My grandma keep on telling me I need to cool out. Quick to pull the scriptures out, pull the tool out.
Halo apa niya? Halo apa niya? Barak? How about you?
Y'all watch him, y'all shot rock the thumb.
I appreciate it, Warrior. I'll take your questions. Please, I'll take your questions in the room. Who do we have here tonight with us up?
So we have Killeen, Texas.
Killeen, Texas, give him a hand. Houston, give Houston a hand.
Chicago.
Give Chi-Town a hand.
HQ.
HQ, give him a hand. All right. Good to go. Good to go. I'll take your questions in the room. You can just say your questions. I'll rock them out online. And of course, I'll take them here in headquarters. All right. And whenever you're ready, Asher, let me know. I think Shema Walla needs you out. Okay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. Next, do we have any questions? We'll go over more about the Buffalo shooting, give you more precepts for that. And I'll answer your questions. You need some help, Asher? Go ahead. Tell them.
No,
Asher. Go
just
ahead.
something just happened, so I'm just.
Go, you want to handle it? Go ahead.
Constant. I'll answer your question. Okay. Need some help? All right, sir. Scroll back to the top, sir. How you doing, sir?
I'm outstanding. Give Asher a hand. He's rocking and rolling tonight. Getting it on.
Constant.
If you want a young brother to fix it, Asher, he can do that too for you, all right?
Constant, they're doing it right now, sir.
Okay.
So
Doc can help you out with that as well.
Yes, sir.
Or you can always utilize him if you need him, all right?
Constant.
Go ahead, Doc. Whenever you're ready with your questions, I'll take them. We're good to go?
Yes, sir. So far, I don't see any questions online.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a preset. Bear with me.
One brother would like some precepts on terrorism, sir.
We'll give you some right now. All right, just stand by. Give me the The terrorism precept we always pull. I'll give you some other ones now. I'm getting them up for you, all right? Consensus.
Is there any way that you could shout out the verses and what you work on?
You mean tell you what the precepts?
Yes.
Is that what you mean? No problem, sis. I'll give them to you, all right? No sweat. I'm just going over my notes for a second. Mm-hmm. This is a good one. It's about Christ.
Also, Baltimore joined us too, sir.
Give Baltimore a hand. Jeremiah 7, I'm going to need. Hold Jeremiah 7 and 32. Jeremiah 11 and 19. Hold those two for now. And let's go to, 1 second. Let's go to Jeremiah 11, the one I asked for earlier. What did I say again? Jeremiah 11 and, I'm sorry, let's start off at Jeremiah 7 and 32. Okay. Give me, you know what? Let's start with Revelations 18 and 4. I think that's where I would usually go on the street. Start off with Revelations 18, all right? And after that, we'll go to Jeremiah 7 and 32. Who wants to read it? Revelations 18 and 3. Whoever has it, read it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath.
18 and 1, read that.
Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things,
18 and 4.
18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her.
Saying what?
Come out of her.
This is where I would usually begin, right? I heard another voice from heaven indicating that this is the Most High God saying this. I heard a voice from heaven saying, come out of her. Come out of her. Keep going.
My people.
Who?
My people.
Who?
My people.
That's how you know who it's speaking to. So this is the Most High God, a voice from heaven, speaking to the people of God. What else does that indicate? That the Most High God is not talking to everyone in the Bible. We reread the Bible today and believe that all the words in the Bible are speaking to every man on earth, when of course that's ridiculous. This is a book written to the people of God, written to one people. The problem is every other nation, they're taking our records, mail delivered to us, but they're taking our mail and reading our mail, reading our correspondence with God, and applying it to themselves. When the Bible is speaking to the Israelites, and the Most High is saying, come out of her, my people. Who is the her? The whore that sitteth upon many waters. That's the biblical definition, or the spiritual definition of America and all of the Edomite powers, all of the powers of our oppressor, all combined into one force to subjugate the children of God into oppression, and to turn the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth into something to be slaughtered in a supermarket. And that's the point of oppression. That's what oppression does to you, man. Oppression takes a great people, a mighty people with resources and a language and a nation and self-respect, and it turns you into something that a man can slaughter like sheep in a supermarket. Come out of her, my people. What's the metaphor? The metaphor is a man having sex with a whore, right? You go into a whore, and that's a sin. You go into the whore, and you come out with the product of sin, right? The Most High said, come out of her, my people. Keep going.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
That ye be not partaker of her sins. For you brothers out there, the metaphor is the same thing as having sex with a prostitute or another man's wife or some woman of another nation. If you go into her, then you partake of her sin. She's a sinner. She's a slut on Instagram or Facebook or OnlyFans. Well, if you contact her and go into her, then you are now joined to the sin that she commits. She's a slut, and now you've joined her in it. She's a whore, and you've joined her in it. But if you partake in her sin, keep going.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Then that you what?
Ye receive not of her plagues.
If you partake in her sin, you're also going to partake in her plague. Well, that is the judgment of America. That's the judgment of Christianity. That's the judgment of democracy and capitalism. These are things that we all enjoy and love. And we love to lay down with America. We love to give her our children and give her our minds and bodies. But when you sin with her, then you're going to catch her disease. And that's what terrorism is. Terrorism is an American disease. It's as American as apple pie, gangster rap, or gangster movies. It's the same thing. It's part of American culture. Violence is woven into American culture. I hear so many black people complain about Denzel Washington getting an Oscar for playing a gangster in Training Day. You've heard that before, Levi? Oh, black people hate that Denzel Washington got an Oscar for playing a gangster in Training Day. Well, what movies do white people play in? Huh? Who are the greatest American actors?
Italian mobsters.
Italian mobsters. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino,
Pesci.
Marlon Brando, Joe Pesci. They all have Oscars, and those are the biggest American movies. White people play gangsters. Italians play gangsters. And those are the most famed movies in America. Well, gangster rap is popular for the same reason. Violence is not black culture. Violence is American culture. This is what America is. America thrives on slaughtering helpless people. And it's popular, and it's lauded, and it's celebrated here. And then it's you in the supermarket getting the disease from the whore you slept with. And that's what happened in Buffalo. And that's what happened in Harlem and in Brooklyn and in Texas and in Los Angeles. It's that same slut that you love, right? You love Christmas, don't you? You love Christmas. You love Thanksgiving. You love it. You love voting. You love it all. Well, there's a disease you have to catch when you lay down with her. There's a price to pay. There's a price to pay for everything. And if you love the filth of this place that you enjoy, then you're going to have to take the disease that hurts you. And that's true in everything that you see. Violence is American culture. Terrorism is American culture. Terrorism is not new. Mass murder is not new. It's up on these walls. We have pictures of it everywhere. It's on the internet. It's what happened to the North American Indian in Canada and in America. It's what happened to the Seminole Indians in Florida. It's what happened right here in New York, down here on Wall Street, with the slaves buried under Wall Street right now. It's part of American culture. It's woven into the fabric of this society, and you enjoy it, and you love it, and celebrate it. Well, then you have to get the disease, and the disease is death. The disease is drug addiction. That comes with American culture. Drug addiction. You couldn't have America without drug addiction. You couldn't have America without alcoholism. You cannot have America without mass murder. You cannot. Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partaker of her sins, that ye be not partaker of her plague. And terrorism is a plague, it's a disease, and it spreads. Once one white man does it, another one sees it on the news, and he does it. And then they do it. With every news story of terrorism, that disease will get transferred to some other white man who will see it and catch the disease. And he will want to go and make himself famous. He'll want to go do what he saw Dylan Ruth do. He'll talk about it. And Dylan Ruth will want to do what Robert E. Lee did. He'll want to do the same thing. He'll want to do what the police do when they pull you over in a car. With every black man that gets shot, the unarmed black man that gets shot by a cop, and when that cop goes free and nothing happens to him, there are white teenagers sitting home going, I want to do that. I want to kill someone. I want to murder someone. Whenever they see it, the disease goes into their heart. Come on.
Constant, that's absolutely correct. Because you grow up and you watch and you see all these cowboy and Indian movies and cops and robbers, and a lot of the time it's the Native Americans are the Native Americans are the evil ones and the white cowboys are the good ones. Almost all the time it's us being the bad robbers and thieves and burglars and hoodlums, and it's always the white cop that's the hero. So white kids, of course, are going to see this and say, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, they catch it.
Constant.
The same way you catch the disease of wanting to be the criminal and wanting to be the villain or wanting to be the sidekick, they catch the disease of wanting to be the murderer. And that's American culture. And if you love it here and love the religion and love Sunday service and love the tambourines and the music, then you better love getting shot in the supermarket as well, because it comes with it. Anything else? 1 second, sis. Is there anything else right here?
That's it for verse 4. I don't want. I could give you
What's
verse
the next
5.
verse? What does it
verse
say?
5. For her sins have reached unto heaven.
That's what you have to understand. The sins of this whore have reached unto heaven, man. The Most High God is angry with our oppressor, angry with him. Today, they found monkeypox back in America. Monkeypox. Damn. That's something out of science fiction. Where'd they find it at? New York City. Congratulations. It's right here. Someone has monkeypox in New York City. The more you try to get out of these diseases, and you try and you try and you try, the Most High is going to send you all kinds of science fiction diseases. It's coming. It's part of this place. God is angry with our oppressor. Now, you love him. Well, you're going to catch what he has. You're going to catch the disease he has. Her sins have reached unto heaven. Continue.
And God hath remembered her iniquities.
God hath what?
Remembered her iniquities.
God hath what?
Remembered her iniquities.
What did the Christians tell you to do about slavery? They told you to do what? Forget about it. Put it in the past. That was a long, long time ago. You have to get your mind off of that. You can't be stuck in the past. God is stuck in the past. Right. He's stuck there. Do you know why? Because people he loved died back then. He loved those people. And he has remembered her iniquity. He's not going to forget. He remembers it. And so now, as you want to be more of a Christian, vote more, get more high, become more of a drug addict, become more of a filthy, disgusting liar. Oh, you're going to catch what you need to catch to stop you from doing what you're doing. I pray you understand that, sister. 1 second, sis. Go ahead.
Just like they tell you, they don't want you to forget the Holocaust or forget 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to always remember that.
Never forget that.
But slavery,
no.
You have to forget it.
No, you have to give her a hand. That's a fact. You're right. Well, microphone. Well, here's the reality of life. You can forget it, but God will not. That's how it works, right? You might choose to forget about slavery. Forgetting about slavery makes it easier for you to go to church every day and to gobble up more money and greed and lust. So remembering slavery is in the way of your prosperity. I get it. But God is not concerned with your prosperity, and he will remember it. And terrorism is going to flow like a river everywhere in this country and abroad. Everywhere that the children of Israel have been oppressed. Give me the one in the Psalms about terrorists or terrorism. Oh, what's this? A good one in the Psalms.
Psalms.
There you go. That's the one I need. That's the one I want. Give me Job. Give me Job 18 and 11.
Job.
The book of Job 18 and 11.
The book of Job, chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side.
Read that again.
Terrors shall make him afraid on every side.
Again.
Terrors shall make him afraid on every side.
That's old school 1West, that precept. And we have prayed for it since 1969. Prayed for it. As we sit in squalor in tenements in Harlem, our oppressor got rich and then became president of the United States. A slumlord out of Harlem and Brooklyn became president of the United States off of your oppression, off of his carelessness for your condition. And everyone was happy. Everyone celebrated. But the Most High God says terror shall make him afraid. No more fun. No more 4th of July. No more Christmas. No more St. Patty's Day parade. Now you're going to deal with fear. Now you'll know what it's like to live in a Black and Hispanic neighborhood. Now you're going to be afraid every day, all the time. Now you'll worry about your children the way we've worried about ours. Terrorism is going to happen everywhere. The Most High God said it in the Bible. Terror shall make him afraid. Where? On every side, everywhere, all the time. Now you have to ask yourself, do I want to share in that? See, I know you want to share in the Christian church. Have you seen them? Oh, they're big, beautiful places, Levi. Oh, have you seen these churches out? Oh my God, the door is 10 feet tall.
It's more than that.
Yeah, I mean, what am I talking about?
Today.
The door is like 20. And I look and I go, damn, they must open that door. It must feel like you're walking into heaven.
Like 6 men.
Yeah, like 6 people side by side could walk through, and it's tall into the sky.
Right.
And you walk in, it must feel like you have walked into the bosom of God. I have never been in one of those places. I can only imagine what it feels like. It must feel like, oh, God is in here. With the some of them got candles everywhere. It's so big, it's like a stadium, and you feel so small and
right.
And you know, and when all the people start singing all at once in unison, oh, you women, you start crying. You cry. Speaking of that, there was some gospel choir at our speaking site right here in Harlem when I came down here. Look into that.
Yes, sir.
Everybody understands.
Yes,
they had the robes on and everything out there with tambourines. I did not like it. Everybody understands. Please look into that, all right? That filth is everywhere. And when you walk into a church, oh, you feel God's presence, don't you, when you walk in there? Well, you want to share in that. Well, then you have to get shot too at the supermarket. It comes with it.
Right.
It's part of it. Right? You want to get high, right? Well, then you got to get the overdose too, don't you? Right? You want cocaine? Well, you got to get the fentanyl too. That's what has to happen.
And the prison time.
You got to get the prison time. You want money, don't you? Quick money. Money that you don't work hard for, right? Well, you got to go to jail.
Double crossing.
Yeah. Oh, all the snitching and getting snitched on. If you're a drug dealer, this is what you're going to do. You're going to snitch on somebody.
Right.
You're going to do it. You're going to hate snitches until it comes time for you to snitch. And you are going to snitch on your best friend. It is going to happen, though you don't want to do it. And you hate doing it, but you're going to do it because you're going to have to take the bad side of the thing that you like the good side of. So that's just, simple being an adult, right? What do we have here?
Do you want to continue reading that scripture, sir?
Is it more?
Current, sir. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet.
Drive him to his feet to do what? Run. You make him get up and run. No more peace. No more parades and happiness and fun. Monkeypox is coming to get you now. It's coming. You're going to have to deal with it. And here's the thing. There is a death and an evil that you can't protect yourself from. What are you going to do? Protect yourself at every supermarket? Like, how do you stop that? What do you do, huh? How will you protect yourself from the air? Protect yourself from people when you got to go around people to eat and to live. There is a protection only God can provide. And you better get on his side if you want to live, because he is the only way you're going to be able to get to the market. God damn, before the terrorist attack, the market, the shelves were empty. So you're going to walk into the market and there is no Similac in that market. Yet going into the market means you have to get shot. We're in hell and we need his protection. The very market that you will have to risk your life to go to doesn't have bread, meat, or baby's formula. And you're going to have to risk your life to walk in the door. Now, how will you protect yourself from that? What will you do to make sure you don't die? There is nothing you can do. He is the only one that can protect you.
Right.
Him. You're going to have to get his help. If you want to walk into a market, if you want to breathe air without getting monkeypox, you're going to have to get his help. You're going to have to find a way to enlist his protection. And if you don't, if you make it in the market, if you don't get shot when you walk in the door, there won't be any food on the shelves when you get in there. I pray you understand that. That's just a fact. Anything else? Keep going.
Verse 12, sir.
Keep going.
Verse 12. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side.
His strength shall be what?
Hunger bitten.
His strength shall be what?
Hunger bitten.
What stops hunger? Food, right? You'll get very weak if you can't walk into a market for fear of dying. If you get in the market, there's no food on the shelf. And maybe you should do the DoorDash. What's that thing when the people bring the food to your house?
Uber Eats and DoorDash.
Uber Eats and DoorDash. And when you go to try to Uber Eat and DoorDash, you can't, because you might catch monkeypox. You might catch it from the delivery man. Your strength is going to be hunger bitten, where you are so weak from so much starvation that now you don't have any more courage. Now you're finally scared to death. Now you realize that there's no way to run from death. There's no protection that you can take that isn't from him. Sister, get microphone first. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Is because they spent $800 billion to Ukraine.
Get about Ukraine, the Israelis, all of those countries that support America instead of Russia. Absolutely. So what do you do to stop it? So then how do you plan on eating? If there's a food shortage and they're sending the food to anywhere besides you, how will you eat? You'll just lay down and die. So how will you eat? You will save. You will save enough food forever. Until what? Until the shortage is over. When is that? Give her a hand. She tried. Here's the one and only answer, sister. Go ahead, Asher.
Obey God.
You're going to have to obey the Lord, because you can't save enough. You can't do enough. You can't protect yourself from this. You understand? There's just no way to do it. You can try all those things, and there are things that the Israelite School of UPK absolutely does to prepare for hard times. But what we do is blessed by God.
Right.
And even our actions would not work if God was against it. Like, there are things that you can do which make logical sense, but if God is not on your side, even your logic will fail, right? The Lord will simply hold back the rain so your crops don't grow. So you might get out there and plant your crops, plant them in the right season, do the work, but then he'll just make it dry and make it not rain. And then you die of starvation. You need his help, even with intelligence,
Right.
even with preparation, even with logical thinking. Without his help, your plan is going to fail. That's straight out the Bible. In the back. See me one more time, warrior. Go ahead.
Salakia said, I forgot exactly where I'm paraphrasing. When David said, let my hands lose their ability to learn war, but let not you take your spirit away from me.
Are you saying, is that a precept for this?
Concept.
That's not a precept for this. Not that. Go ahead.
I was gonna tell the sister to turn around real quick.
Where's she at? You
all
see
those
that
boxes?
behind you in there? Shoulder brothers and sisters right there. Those
See all those
boxes.
boxes there? That's because we obey the Lord.
There you go. That's
And
how it
we
works.
had to
sis.
jump through hurdles to be able to find food to feed the people.
Oh, that's where that comes from.
Concept.
You understand that, right? You see, that's where that comes from. That doesn't come from being smarter than other people.
Nope.
That comes from obeying God when other people don't. You get the point, right? This one is a good one. Let's go to the one I asked for earlier then, in Jeremiah. Any questions online?
I have a bunch of questions online for you, sir.
Okay, let me get this last one, and then I'll get all of the questions. Just have the brothers say them for themselves, all right? 7, I believe.
And 32, I think that's what we said.
Hold on. Damn it, what did I say again? You said, oh, that sounds right. Ephraim, you got it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 32. Therefore, behold, the days come.
The what?
The days come.
The what?
The days come.
This was future prophecy, man, that's coming to pass right now. Right now. The Lord said it all the way back during the time of Jeremiah. Jeremiah was one of the major prophets of God during the Babylonian captivity, when we were in slavery under the Babylonian Empire. And Jeremiah would go out on the street, man, to tell our people to turn from sin so that we could not go into the Babylonian captivity. Our people ignored him and hated him. And then we went into the Babylonian captivity. And then Jeremiah prophesied against Babylon to turn our people from the worship of Babylonian gods, knowing that through rejecting those gods, that was the only way that the true living God would get us out of slavery. And that's it. That's the situation you're in now. You can't go shopping. You can't breathe air. You can't go to your slavery. You're in trouble. Your life hangs in the balance, and you need God's help. Here's the good news. That help is attainable. He can help you. God isn't like some idol or some Chinese idol in a Chinese store that sits on the counter. Like that big bellied man that sits up there on the counter. They throw a candy at his feet. Or the cat god, the one with the cat's paw that does this all the time in the Chinese store. They give him a piece of candy every damn. That God can do nothing for you at all.
Right.
Nothing. That God needs you to give him candy. Right? He needs you to give him something. But our God, he can help you.
Right.
He's real, and his mind can be changed. You can convince him to help you, though you deserve it not. You can convince him to help you with your changed behavior. You can do it. The Lord said, there is a time coming. Go ahead.
Saith the Most High, that it shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom,
Keep going.
but the valley of slaughter.
Topheth or Henna, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm not reading it right in front of me. Those are places where we would worship strange gods. That's where they worship that god Molech at. Right? It's a place on the outskirts of Israel where the Israelites would go and worship the strange gods of the other nations. Come on. Tell them.
Jeremiah 7, verse 32.
That's where they worship Molech at. Molech was another terrible god that our people loved. Molech. Loved him and chid him, who was like the champion of Molech. We loved him, loved Chittim, loved all of those strange, loved that fish god Dagon, and loved Baal probably most of all. Loved them. And those lands where Israelites worship strange gods. Much like the cities you're in today, where blacks and Hispanics love to worship strange gods. Come on.
I got the definition, sir, from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Tophet. So like area in the valley of Hinnom where human sacrifices were made to Molech. It is first mentioned by Isaiah, who declared that a Tophet, a place of burning, was prepared by the Lord for the king of Assyria.
Everybody gets that. All right, that's what I just said. They would worship strange gods in those lands. So read it from the top one more time.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 32. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that it shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom.
Asher, can this thing go on this thing right here and be on the floor or no? This phone.
That one is for you.
Okay, this can't go on here.
Because that one is facing the
Oh, this is another camera. So
yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
But the valley of slaughter.
But the what?
But the valley of slaughter.
That's what the Most High said. These names of these cities were going to change, and they weren't going to be the valley of this, the valley of that, but they were going to now be called the valley of slaughter. Right? Before, you would love to go to these lands and go to church, right? Go to church and buy your hams at. What I would wonder is, what were all those people going to buy in that market? Any pork? Huh? Any pork? Were you going to get any pork? Any shrimp? Any crabs? Huh? Any of that? I wonder how many Christians were there, and drug addicts and grandmamas who loved Jesus. That type of thinking is dangerous. It's dangerous to think like that and believe those things, because you anger the Lord thy God the same way they did in these lands. They loved Molech and would do human sacrifice to Molech. They loved it. But then the Most High God decided to show them how he felt about it. And now this place is going to be called the Valley of Slaughter. And that's what happened in that supermarket. That wasn't, a murder or a killing. That was a slaughter. That devil, that filthy devil, picked that market because he scouted it out and knew that it was a middle-class neighborhood. And by it being middle class, he knew that there were no gangbangers, no tough guys, no thugs, no one that might have a gun and might shoot back or might fight. He scouted it out. He talked to people the day before to make sure that these people were passive, kind people who would talk to him and who were polite and would accept him. He made sure that they were animals to be killed, not animals that might bite back, not animals that might fight back. And when he saw that they were so nice, they accepted a white man so beautifully, and they would give no fight, then he brung a gun in to kill as many as he could. Asher. You sure? All right. It was a slaughter. It wasn't a killing. It wasn't a hunt. It was just a slaughter. That's it. They had no chance. He made sure that they weren't the kind of people that would fight back. There was one brother, the security guard. He had a firearm and he shot the devil in the chest. But of course, the devil had on body armor, and then that devil killed the brother who shot him back, who shot at him. All right. He picked the place because they were innocent and kind and welcoming, because they were nice people. He picked that specific market for that reason. Come on.
He's fortunate there wasn't a UPK school in Buffalo.
Yeah, he's real. And it's not only is he fortunate, give him a hand. Not only is he fortunate, far more than anything that we could do in the middle of a slaughter, our conduct before that day is what saves your life.
Right.
And that's what blacks and Hispanics don't get. Okay, you can't save your life on that day, right? You have to save your life before that day.
Right.
Which is what protection is about. It's about Protection is like being proactive. What does it mean to be proactive? Who knows? Anyone? Proactive, progressive. Give me another one. Progress. It's the same thing. Meaning what? What does it denote? Anyone online? Progressive, progress, protect. What does that mean? Levi.
Proactive. Creating or controlling a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding to it after it has happened.
Read that again.
Proactive. Creating or controlling a situation by causing something to happen.
By causing something to happen. Go ahead.
Rather than responding to it after it has happened.
Rather than responding to it after. So many people, you might see that slaughter in Buffalo and think, man, I wish I had a gun and I was there. What are you going to do? Have a gun everywhere? Well, he has body armor on. So you're going to shoot him in the chest. He's not going to fall, and he's going to kill you.
Right.
Right? Will you just be armed everywhere you go and be ready for his mass attack everywhere you go? Well, he'll shoot you while you're pushing the cart. Well, he'll shoot you in the back. He'll shoot you when you can't see him. Right? You can't protect yourself every day, all the time. And really what you're talking about is retaliating. What you're talking about is a devil comes into the supermarket and you're ready to kill him. You're ready to fight back, which is good. And that is absolutely 1West. The UPK, we know how to retaliate, right? It's in our doctrine to retaliate. We know how to retaliate, and it's something we believe in, but we don't believe that retaliation can save your life, because it cannot save your life. It can punish those that have wronged you, and it can discourage them, but it cannot protect you. To protect you, you would have to be progressive, proactive, which means what again, Levi?
Controlling a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding to it after it had happened.
You would have to do something before the attack, before the danger. That's the only way to protect yourself. It's not what you do when it happens. It's how you live before it happens. You're going to have to be the kind of man where God makes sure that you are protected from people like him, where God does it. And God, my God, he has access to all things, can he? The Lord can make that white man die of a heart attack when he's thinking about coming to that market. The COVID-19 virus is killing everybody. Why can't that man die of COVID-19? Everybody else is. Why can't he die? We have no idea how many people were planning on harming the UPK who didn't make it through the COVID-19 virus. I know one in particular. Lord be with him and help him. Right? But he didn't make it through the COVID-19 virus, and he wanted to harm us. But the Most High God watches over this school and Commanding General Yohana and every brother in here. There's one particular brother I know right in Harlem that wanted to hurt this place. He didn't get the chance to. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh. And there will be others that join him. Right? There will be others that join him. And it won't be because of our retaliation. It'll be because of the life that we live before the attack. You cannot eat pork and eat shrimp and be a homosexual and expect God to be with you. He will not protect you. The man who is planning on killing you will have a green light straight to you. It will happen. You cannot, have sex with another man's wife.
Steal money.
You cannot steal. You cannot lie and expect for the man that's planning on killing you to get a flat tire on the way to killing you, or to get pulled over for something else, and he never makes to the market. There are 1,000 ways that God can protect you, man. Come on. Go ahead. Man, that is the precept I'm thinking about. Captain, give him a hand. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Tell them where it is and let's read it and make sure everyone heard it. I don't think they heard it.
The book of Proverbs.
And give me
chapter-
when David went to fight Goliath. When he said, thou comest against me and with sword and spear. That's what you need.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 31. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Most High.
You better believe that. The horse is prepared against the day of battle. You train a horse and get him to learn how to fight. And get him to learn how to run into a battle without running away from a battle. You arm your horse up so that if he gets hit with a bow and arrow, he won't run. I just want it in the middle so I don't look over there at it. It's distracting me, all right? Just put it straight ahead. Good to go. Or back a little bit would help too, all right? Come on. Go ahead. Right, that thing right there is fine. Unless you can back it up more. Go ahead.
This is 1 Samuel 17 and 14. Salakia 17 and 45. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with the sword.
Skip above it, 2 verses.
43. And the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. 44. And the Philistine said to David, come to me and I will give thy
Can you put
flesh.
the brothers up on here and not me, if it's all right? Okay, solid. Go ahead. One more.
Come to me and I will give thy
Actually, I messed it up again. Go ahead.
will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air.
So this is Goliath. Everyone heard about the story of David and Goliath.
Right.
It's a pivotal story in the history of our people. It's a story that all of us lean on at times of stress, when we're afraid, or when we think that an enemy is too great. Come on.
1 Samuel 17 and 45.
All right.
You're welcome.
When we think an enemy is too great or a foe too big or too mighty and we can't handle him, this is a story that we all remember and lean on, because it's the time when God stood with the small and not the mighty, when he stood with the meek and not the man of war. And that's what we need in these days, man. These devils that want to kill us, you cannot train like they can. You can't shoot like them. You can't kill like them. They are killers. They are born murderers.
Right.
They're gifted with the sword. That's in the Bible. You can't train or be as good as a white man is in murdering somebody. You can try all you want. You cannot be like him. Okay? And he can never be you. He can never serve God like you.
Right.
He can never be as righteous as you, as kind as you, as gracious as you, as courageous as you. He can never do that. And you can never be as big a murderer as he is. So then how will you survive in a battle against him? I'll explain how right here. The same way David survived. This filthy Philistine, when he saw David, he said, what? Read that again.
Come to me and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air.
Well, Goliath said, come to me and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air. That's what he said. I'm going to let the birds eat. Come to me. Come on. Keep going.
And to the beast of the fields.
And to the beasts of the field. Meaning you come over here to me, the jackals are going to eat your flesh. The buzzards will eat off your bones when you come over here. Go ahead.
45. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword.
These are the words of David after Goliath threatened him. And remember, Goliath is 9 feet tall. There are some cats in the NBA, they're like 7 feet tall, 7'6", the tallest one, 7'3". This cat is 9 feet tall African. 9 feet tall and big and strong, and has a record of killing men. A long history of killing people. And David, come on.
So like early in the chapter, it says he's been killing since his youth.
Goliath was killing people since he was a kid. Since he was a kid, he was seasoned and trained in killing people, which is how these white people are. That devil that killed those brothers and sisters, what was he, 18? 18. And that's them, Mark. Since they were 16 years old. They killed their first bear at 7. Am I making this up? I am not making this up. You want to Google it? Go ahead. They killed their first bear. They shot a deer at 6 years old.
Right.
At 6. That's why it's ridiculous when someone says that one of our children can't learn about guns. A white kid has killed a deer at 6 years old, 7 years old. Someone Google it and tell me how young. Give me New York State if you have hunting in New York State. Give me the youngest, the age you have to be to kill a deer or to kill a wild boar or a bear in New York. Lord forbid Texas. You can kill I think an embryo can kill a deer in Texas. I mean, but they kill at 6 years old. They kill their animals. They go out on hunting trips. They're trained for this. You're not. That's not who you are. Come on.
And New York State is 12 years old or older.
12 or older. My God, look at Texas or Oklahoma or, 1,000 other cities, states.
9 in Texas.
9 years old. 9 years old. Give me the youngest person on record to kill a deer or kill a bear. I shouldn't have to look up what race they are, right? Do I have to do that? I don't think I do. I think everybody knows that they're not going to be from Queens, right? They're going to be some white man somewhere or some white girl somewhere. Right. Go ahead, Op.
Sir.
I'm sorry, in the back, officer.
Salakia, sir, if I may, I used to work upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple brothers, we stopped by the gun shop,
Mm-hmm.
and you would see the customers, and they would bring their kids, 5-year-old, 4-year-olds, into the gun shop, and they explain to them, about the guns. Give them it was like an educational tour of the gun shop. And these was like 5, 6, 7, and 8 years old.
They start about that
guns.
age. That start, Asher.
On the screen, sir.
There you go. That's them. So they start with the animals. Oh, by the time they get 18, they've graduated to shoppers in the supermarket. Let's keep going.
I have an article right here. So that was published in January 22nd, 2008. 4-year-old kid shoots first deer.
Say what? Read that again.
4-year-old kid shoots first deer.
4 years old. How old is that, your brother right there? Hazah? 2 years. In 2 years, he'd kill a deer if he's a white man. In 2 years.
So, Salakia, sir, if I may.
Go ahead,
I have an article right here. It says 7 states, Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Vermont, and Washington set no minimum age for solo hunting.
Well, there you go, Hazah. Take him out there. He'll kill today.
On his own. On his own, sir.
He'll kill right now. Give him a hand. The point is, my God, okay, we aren't training like them. Okay, you're not doing what they do to prepare for murdering people. All right? Goliath was a killer from a young age, just like these monsters that train to kill us, that kill 10 people at 18 years old. But we do have something they don't have. We do have something that they don't have, and that's a connection to the God of heaven and earth, to the judge over the dead and the living. We have that, and that thing they can't get. They can't have it no matter what age they are. So Goliath came out against David, and he said, "Come to me, and I will feed you to the birds." Continue.
Khan 45. Then said David to the Philistine, "Thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield."
He said, "You come to me with a sword and a spear and a shield." Go ahead.
"But I come to thee in the name of the Most High of hosts."
Read that again.
"But I come to thee in the name of the Most High of hosts."
You come to me with a sword, with a shield, and with a spear. But I come to you in the name of the Most High, the God of hosts. The God of hosts means the God of armies.
Right.
The God of armies. That's what I come to you. I come to you in the name of the Lord. And my weapon is greater than all of yours. That's being proactive. That's protection. You protect yourself before the fight. You protect your wife before the attack. You protect your children before. Progressive, proactive. It's something you do before it happens. And now, of course, our problem as blacks and Hispanics, even those of us that even think we should do anything, we think it happens during it or after it. When it's too late to do it then. It's too late. David was proactive. David protected himself against Goliath. He did that. Keep going.
The power of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. 46. This day will the Most High deliver thee into mine hand.
That's what David said. David said, this day is God going to deliver you into my hands. And I love this precept. This day. He knew the minute that Goliath stood out there, Rock, all puffed up and all big, he knew he was going to be worm food in a minute. He knew it. And he knew it not because of him being a greater fighter than Goliath or him having more weapons than Goliath. He knew it because of the kind of life he lived before that day. Precept. Show me how David was proactive. How did he know he was going to defeat Goliath? I need a precept. I need you to go to the scripture and read that. That's what I need. Because he tells you in the Bible. Go ahead, about you.
Verse 34.
Let's hear it.
And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock.
David was put in charge of sheep. That's what his father gave him to watch over, sheep. That's it. His father said, you're young, you're not the son that I think has the most potential. I think your older brothers have the most potential. Right? So I'll take them and train them on how to be my heir. You watch over these sheep. And watching those sheep was David's job. It was what he found purpose in. It was the thing that he was determined to do and not fail in. My father gave me sheep to watch over. Continue.
And there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. 35. And I went out after him and
come on.
And smote him.
A lion and a bear came and took one of those sheep. David went and chased down the lion and the bear and killed the lion and the bear, which is ridiculous and impossible and an amazing thing to do. Go ahead.
And delivered it out of his mouth.
And took the lamb out of the mouth of the lion and the bear. Keep going.
And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him.
And when the lion reached up to kill him, he grabbed the lion by his beard and killed the lion. Go ahead.
Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them.
So David, this is how he was proactive. He knew that God would be on his side if he performed his duty. He knew it because he performed his duty in the past and knew that God would be with him again. Now, what have you done other than getting high and slutting yourself with people on Facebook? What have you done? Your life is about chasing whores and giving people a slave name so they will never know you're in the truth, so you can have sex with women online. That's your life. What do? Smoke weed? What training is smoking weed giving you in the day of battle? Oh, you smoke Newport cigarettes. I got you. So those Newport cigarettes you smoke, how do they train you or help you for God to be on your side when the day of death comes? Huh? How does all your secret websites and you sisters out there that have secret websites where you are flirting with other men and your exes and getting attention from other men on Facebook, is that going to help you when the white man comes to kill you in the supermarket? Is that how you're going to not die? Because you talk to your ex and your baby's daddy and you're flirting with him when your husband doesn't know about it? Will that help you when the man with the gun comes into the market? you're not being proactive. You're not trying to protect yourself. You're not doing that. That's clear. And when the day comes, you're going to be slaughtered.
Right.
You're going to be slaughtered. Finish that precept, the one I asked for earlier, Levi. Then I'll get to all your questions. The one, where was it at again? Jeremiah 7, 32, something in 32. Ephraim, you had it, I believe.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 32, in the middle. For they shall bury in Tophet till there be no place.
They shall bury this city until there is no place. And that's the Black and Hispanic community. It's happening right here in New York, man, where gentrification comes in. The key to gentrification, right, is not the fact that white people are moving into your neighborhood. Here's the key to gentrification. Hold on to your hats. The key to, everyone knows what gentrification is, right? It's white people coming into a traditionally, historically Black and Hispanic neighborhood and buying everything and moving the Black people out. And now all of the white people move in and they raise the rent so that no Black person can live there, no Hispanic can live there anymore. And now it's a wonderful neighborhood with no crime, and the supermarkets are beautiful places. The key to gentrification is not the fact that white people are moving in. You have to ask yourself, what was this neighborhood like before white people moved in? That's the key. And that's why they're moving in. That's all. What was it like? About you?
Salakia, a cheap crack house that a white
It was a
man
crack
could buy?
house at every other house. And there were drugs and death and stealing and lying and prostitution up and down the street like it was legal. Well, that is how white people got to buy it. You understand? If you want to be proactive, if you want to protect your neighborhood, you can't have prostitution there. You can't sell drugs there. You can't murder people over, gang nonsense and over a girl at the corner store. Because when you murder someone there, you are doing the thing that helps white people come in and take over your neighborhood. You can't notice gentrification when you see that they're kicking all the Black people out. It's too late then. You've got to look at your neighborhood and go, I'm selling drugs here. My cousin is selling drugs here. I shot somebody right there. My friend shot somebody right there. We're getting moved out of here. The police are going to come and arrest all of us and move white people into Brooklyn, move white people into Harlem. Don't ask yourself, don't be shocked when white people move into your neighborhood. How was it before they moved in? If you want to protect yourself, you change that. But to change that, you'd have to give up smoking weed, give up cigarettes, give up handling a problem yourself. You should never handle a problem yourself, man. You should let the judges handle that problem. And there are judges in the UPK that can handle disputes between brother and brother, sister and sister. You should have let us handle your problems, because if you don't, your neighborhood is getting gentrified because you have no protection. Everyone understands. Any more?
Precept, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah 59:1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. Verse 2. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God.
That's it.
And your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
This is why we've died of the COVID-19 virus. This is why we've died of every plague and every destruction and every tiny thing that white people would otherwise triumph over. It kills us and wipes us out. It's because we don't want to obey God. That's it. And if you want to protect yourself, you have to start obeying God. If you don't believe me, I'll teach this again to your kids. Okay, I'll do that. Let me move on. Next.
So we got
Come on.
Houston has a question, sir.
Go ahead, Houston. Let him say it. You said you got it. Go ahead.
You can hear me, sir?
I hear you fine, warrior.
All right, no sweat, sir. My question is, in Matthew 9 and 14 and 15, it's kind of like a two-part question. So in Matthew 9, 14 and 15, John's disciples is speaking with Christ, and Christ is explaining it to them why his disciples don't have to fast. Can you give me a breakdown on that before I ask the second part?
No problem. Go ahead and read it for him, please. Tell him where it is again.
Matthew 9 and 14 and 15.
Go ahead. 9 and let's start at 13 then, all right? Go ahead.
No sweat, sir.
What I need, take some books and stack this thing up for me, please. Go ahead. You can read it, Levi. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 13.
Yeah, just read it up so I can look
But go ye.
There you
go. I'll take it out verse 12, sir.
12, go ahead.
But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them,
That's fine, right there.
they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick.
Okay, keep going. That's not the topic. Keep going.
Verse 13. But go ye and learn what that meaneth. I will have mercy and not sacrifice, for I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners to
Where was the brother's
repentance.
question at?
I believe it's in verse 14 and 15, sir.
All right, read 14. Read 14. Go straight to it.
Verse 14. Then came to him the disciples of John, saying, why do we and the Pharisees fast oft?
So now these are the disciples of John, right? These are the brothers that John is teaching. They follow John the Baptist. He had a gigantic movement with so many people who joined it. And the Pharisee, just like the disciples of John, they fasted often, meaning they would take specific days and they would not eat or drink for those days. And they believed that it was important. It was important to gain strength to be able to perform God's will. And they fasted often. They fasted. The disciples of John did it, and the disciples of the Pharisees did it. So they came to Christ and said, listen, we fast all the time, often. Why don't you fast? Put it up on these books if you can help me out first. Go ahead.
But thy disciples fast not.
But your disciples don't fast. When the disciples, the 12 disciples, when they were with Christ, they didn't fast. They never fasted. They just ate and drank as usual. They didn't go on any fast. Keep going.
Verse 15. And Yahushua said unto them, can the children of the bride chamber mourn?
Can the children of the bride chamber mourn? This is for Houston's question, right? The children of the bride chamber, that's speaking about the disciples of Christ. And he's saying, can the children of the bride chamber mourn? Go ahead.
As long as the bridegroom is with them.
As long as the bridegroom is with them. Houston, who is the bridegroom that was with them? Let me slide over.
Christ.
Christ.
Christ is the bridegroom.
Little more. I can just look straight ahead. That's correct, right? The children of the bride, little more if you don't mind. The children of the bridegroom, that was Christ. So in essence, Houston, what he's saying is the reason my disciples don't fast is because I'm here. So they're not in mourning. They're not sad and miserable now, Thawada, because I'm here with them. They don't need the kind of strength that they're going to need in the future when I'm gone. So since Christ was with them every day, they didn't need any special strength. They just followed him. They just did whatever he said. Keep going.
But the days will come.
Read that again.
But the days will come.
But the days are going to come. Go ahead.
When the bridegroom shall be taken from them.
When the bridegroom will be taken from them. He's talking about the day when he would leave his disciples to die, rise again from the dead, and sit on the right hand of the Lord our God. But if he's sitting on the right hand of God, he's not with us anymore. And when those days come, go ahead.
And then shall they fast.
Then they're going to fast. You understand, Houston? So in essence, my disciples are not fasting because I'm here with them now. And I'm making the decisions. I'm telling them what to do. But when I'm gone, that's when they will fast. Because then they're going to be sad. Then they're going to be without me. I won't be there anymore. And then they will go on fast. You understand, Houston?
Sir. The second part is, okay, so in Mark 9:28 and 29, he's requiring them that they have to fast.
Why is that?
He's almost checking them. So if you go to Mark 9 and 18,
go ahead and read that. Read that for him. Mark 9 and 18.
18 and 19.
The book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 18. And wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth and gnasheth his teeth, and pineth away. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out. And
if I could, sir.
Go ahead, out, Houston.
Real quick, this is when they trying to get the demon out of the brother. So this is when they casting out the demon. So I'm just giving a little bit of understanding before he start going back into the scripture. If you could, I go to 19.
Go ahead,
verse 19. He answered him and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me.
And so right after that, if you could go to 28 and 29, if you could, Baba Kashaw.
No, sir. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And when he was come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could not we cast them out? Verse 29. And he said unto them, this kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
So the question that is I'm trying to get understanding is about the fasting. Are we supposed to fast? You know what I'm saying? Or are we, I guess I understand in 19 it said when he's gone that we will be fasting. But in this particular moment, he's almost checking them for not fasting. So that it's like, could you break that down for me, sir? So like
he's not checking them for not fasting. What is he checking them for? It's right in front of you. Let him answer. He didn't say you need to fast more. This is happening because you are fasting. That's not what he's saying. What is he saying?
Because they have no faith.
That's why he's checking them. He's checking them over not having faith, which they absolutely should have. Why absolutely should they have faith?
Because he right there. He with them.
Because he's with them. Because he's right there with them. Why in the hell don't you have faith? I'm sitting here with you, raising the dead, healing the sick, making the blind see. What, you still don't believe?
Right.
And then he said, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I be with you? Meaning, I'm not going to always be here with you. You're going to have to start having faith. Nevertheless, this one can't even come out with faith. This is what you got to fast and pray for. So even if you had faith, this was a serious one. This one you need to fast though. That's the point. That's what he's saying right here in front of you. If you want, I'll read it again. All right, you ready? Houston, are you there?
Come, sir. I understand, sir.
You got it. That's it. He's saying, the Pharisees are saying, I'm going to sum the whole thing up. Just stay with me, all right? The Pharisees, why don't your disciples fast? They don't fast because I'm here. So they're not sad now. I'm here. So they're not going to fast. But when I'm gone, they're going to fast because they're going to be sad because I'm gone. And then they will fast. Then they want to cast a demon out of some cat. But this is a lunatic. This is one of those straight up, eating out the trash can, get butt naked, bite you, scream, fight you, schizophrenia. That schizophrenia is a woof. That's a demon, brother. I deal with a lot of demons. But when that schizophrenia come up, that's the hardcore one.
Wakan.
You probably don't even know it because you got it. You don't even know. You don't even know. You the one that got schizophrenia. You. If you sitting around writing something all small, writing a ton of writings, you have schizophrenia. And if you think these writings are like the thing that's going to change the world, you got schizophrenia. If you can't stop talking, schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is that thing where you have to express this, and it's so important. It's so important. If you take a big importance on mundane things like the number 23, the number 26, 26 this and 26 that, 26 this and 26 that, and 26 this, and 26, you have schizophrenia, right? Getting naked. You ever see people, right, when they're about to fight?
That's that 11 shit.
Off all their clothes. Right? It's like a what? You want some of me? You want some of me? You want some of me? Draws down. You want some of me? It's like get naked. When of course, how does being naked help you in a fight? Because of course, now you're exposed in a fight. Like you would think you would want clothes on, so that the clothing can be a barrier in the fight. But no, you want some of me? Rip shirt off, pants down. You want some of me? You need to get more naked because that's schizophrenia. And you want to strip butt naked. That's you, right? You have schizophrenia. So many of you have it, which is why you won't go to the doctor. Here's a key point of schizophrenia. I'm fine with the water warrior. If people tell you you should take medication and you refuse, that's schizophrenia. Someone who did not have schizophrenia wouldn't have a problem with taking the medication. They'd be fine with it. It'd be like taking an aspirin or taking an Advil. But to you, you're like, no, I'm not taking that medication. I'm not doing that. You have schizophrenia. Well, that's a serious demon. And so faith or not, you're going to need more than faith for schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is hardcore, right? What do you need for schizophrenia? For schizophrenia, you are going to need total dominance over your own body, which means you also don't have demons. Some of you, you're trying to cast a demon out of somebody with schizophrenia when you have a demon. You yourself got a few demons in you. And this schizophrenia demon is not going to be one you can handle because you have other demons, which is what Christ is trying to say. Here I go. I'm going to sum it up now. The disciples of John the Baptist and the Pharisees say, we fast all the time. Your disciples never fast. Why? This is the response of Christ. My disciples don't fast because I'm here. They don't need to fast. They're not sad. But when I'm gone, they will be sad and they will fast. Then the disciples go out and try to cast a demon off of a stark, raving lunatic. They can't do it. They try and they can't do it. They go to him, they're blazing on him. Nothing. Christ goes out there, blazes on him, and he gets all calm, right? They come and they say, yo, we tried what you did. It didn't work. Christ said, read right from there. You were right there.
He answered him and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you?
He's chastising them not for having no faith, Houston. They don't have faith even though Christ is sitting there with them. They should have faith. Oh, faithless generation. Go ahead.
How long shall I be with you?
How long am I going to be with you? I'm not always going to be here. You don't have faith while I'm here. How long will I be here? Keep going.
How long shall I suffer you?
How long will I suffer your lack of faith? You should believe. The problem is, I'm sitting right here. I'm giving you evidence every day. God, they were there when Lazarus got rose from the dead. They were there. They were there when he did the historical things that he's famous for today. These cats were sitting right there watching it and still didn't believe. Continue.
Bring him unto me. Verse 20. And they brought him unto him. And when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming.
when he walked in and saw Christ, he just passed out when he saw him. This happens in UPK. I'll tell you when it happened recently in Boston. Give Captain Kadazai a hand. This happened. Captain Kadazai came out against demons, throwing water at him. How's a hob? Give How's a hob a hand. Who else was there? Anybody in New York? Officer Kara, Karayala, and Haryala. Give them a hand. This happened. And the demons were out. And these demons were baby murderers, just like the worshipers of Molech, who did human sacrifice. You read the Bible like it's some faraway crazy things. They're doing human sacrifice today, the water warrior. They're doing human sacrifice today, right now, today. How do I know it's human sacrifice? Because it's not just they killed their child because they didn't have any money and they were homeless and they didn't have anything. Killing their child, they're champions of it. You understand? They're not like, yeah, I had an abortion. I'm ashamed of it, but I didn't have anything else to do. No one supported me. I killed my child. They're not that. They're, shut your effing mouth. I'm killing babies. Abortion. Woo! They're religious about abortion.
Right.
They're religious about it. That is human sacrifice.
When Captain Kadazai was speaking, the one sister was saying, F them kids.
Woo! I didn't hear that part, Kadazai. Damn. Listen. Well, that's the worship of Molech. That's human sacrifice. That's human sacrifice. And he battled them just like 6,000 years ago. That same battle would happen. Someone, you're saying something that you think you would get no battle with. Don't kill your kids. Right? Listen, you would think the things I battled for in my life and the truth, I can't even believe I got in some battles. And I know to this day, if that happens, I just walk away because I don't care no more. I don't know when that switch happened, but somewhere when I got older, it was like, oh, whatever. Go ahead, do it. Keep going. Kill your kids. Kill them. Go ahead. Don't let me hold you down. Go to the abortion clinic. Get quick. I wish I could have talked to your mother when she had you. I would have hurried her along to the abortion clinic. Since you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Somewhere I stopped caring. Don't be like me, y'all. Y'all keep caring. Because somebody got to care. Come on.
Doesn't the scripture say you wipe the dust off your feet?
Whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I just know I don't give a damn. Okay. So now here's the point is this woman, she cares about killing them. And you would think you wouldn't get the resistance that you get. Well, this is what Jeremiah got. He's talking about not killing the babies, and they are religious zealots about killing the babies. And that's what happened in Boston. And she's throwing water, and they're screaming. And then he begins to raise his hand and blaze. And then the demon leaves. That happened. That's it. It happens to you all the time when you're at camp or in a battle, and this person, all of a sudden, it's like they stop. And there's a point, if you focus, where you can almost see it's gone, where it's like it's whoof, like wind, like it left. And now they're just a person that wants your help, who's coming over to the table to try to talk to you. And that's them. And this happens. And now, so Christ expects them to have faith to be able to do that. To be able to go and speak it out, to stand there and do it. They didn't have faith. They got all jittery and crazy minded over how nuts the person was. And then Christ went, and as soon as she saw Christ, she just fell out. Or the person just fell out. Continue.
Verse 21, and he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him?
I'm sorry, I think I passed it. I think he might have the question. You get it now, Wak. I think I'm good here or not. Am I right? Houston?
Also, Shapat.
Come on, sir. We swear, sir. Come on, sir.
Well, we don't say square, but we're good to go, correct?
Salaki, sir. We're good to go, sir.
No problem. Next.
The wild.
Let me get Asher. Go ahead.
Sir, I have a question from Officer Tahawamgabar, sir.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to know, this question is based on a sister who has a business and is trying to make professional connections with other people,
right?
Like men,
right?
But their intentions are different than what hers are,
right?
How should she conduct herself, or what should she do in that situation?
I need a little more context in that. So I'm assuming she's selling something, or I need a little more context to answer that question. All right. The particular business, that's going to matter as well. If she's on the job, come on.
But the point that he's trying to point out is that the men have alternative motives, like to court her,
Of course,
whether or not she has a husband or not.
Of course. And so, what's the question?
How should she conduct herself, or yeah, how should a sister respond?
Okay, I'm going to answer in general. Then, all right. Here's my general answer to this. So this question is: you got a wife, or excuse me, you're a sister, and you're trying to make money. You're trying to make connections, in real estate, or in you work on slavery, or you're trying to sell things door to door, right? You're doing something where you got to go make money, and you got to go out in the public and deal with men. But of course, these men want to have sex with you, and they're not there for the business or for the money or for the networking. What does a sister do? Here's the first thing you want to do. You want to first empower yourself so that you can determine and be the one that makes the decision on how these men perceive you. That's important. What you don't want to do is feel like, what can I do? I'm a little lamb. I'm a little girl, and everybody just want to have sex with me. Because if you do that, then you're going into poverty. You'll have the excuse now to say, I'm a woman. I can't work because I'm just so pretty that everybody wants to have sex with me. Then you're going into poverty. You're going to live under a bridge in a tent. And then you will be looking to have sex with somebody to get some money when you're under that tent. So what you first have to tell yourself is, I have to make money. So what do? I have to make money. What do? You can be the one, and you are empowered to force men, to manipulate men into how they think about you. There is a woman who is inspiring men to think about her in a sexual way, and she doesn't know that. And then there's another woman who knows how to conduct herself in a way where no man thinks she is a sexual object at all. You can do it. What you don't want to think is that you have no power over it. Here's what you can't do. You can't, go to every and single man you're with and make sure they don't want to have sex with you. But you can behave in a way to make men go, oh, she's not with this. She's here to make money. She's not here to have sex or to have fun or to play games with me. Let me tell you where it starts. One, with how you dress. With how you dress. You know a cop based on how he's dressed, a fireman based on how he's dressed, a whore based on how she's dressed. There is a way you dress at work that can make a man say, she wants male attention. Simple enough. She wants my compliments. She wants me to notice her cleavage. A lot of you sisters, you show too much goddamn cleavage. You show it too much. And I know why you show it too much. One, because your mother's a whore. Your mother taught you how to dress like that. And you've just learned over so many years that you have to show your breasts to feel feminine and to feel pretty. You got low self-esteem. You don't know how to dress in a way where you don't need men to look at your breasts. So you go to work every day wondering why men are looking at you. You got two cantaloupes all pressed up together in front of yourself, squeezed up in the tightest bra in the world, with a split right down the middle. You got a front butt. There's a front butt is where the breast are. The crack is right down here. You got a back butt and a front butt. The front butt is up in front of their face with the crack showing. And then you go, these men always trying to talk to me. I don't know what the hell is going on. You go to your husband and complain. Do you know Reggie is always trying to talk? Yeah, bitch, he is. He sees your front butt. Stop showing men your cleavage, because that cleavage is going to stop you from making money. That's what's going to happen. Now you can't make money. You can't work. Because Reggie is like, no, he ain't thinking about making money with you. He's thinking about your front butt. He's thinking about the cleavage that you show him all day. So what do you first want to do when you go to work? Stop showing your cleavage. Let me make it simple. You should never see the line that separates your two breasts. That line should never be shown. It's a line. It's called cleavage because of cleave in two. It's the line that separates one breast from the other, one hemisphere from the other hemisphere. Don't show that. Now that's step one. Then watch the tightness of your dresses. How tight are your dresses? Are they too tight? Do they show your back butt? Because that's where all the problem is. Don't show that. Hide it. Hide it. Now, when I say hide it, some of you, it's hard to hide it. Good Lord. It's hard to, it's like throwing a blanket on a horse. You know it's a horse under there, no matter what's on it. Now, but here's the key. The key is men in the world will know you're trying to hide it. They'll know it. You know what I've never seen? I've never heard of a Muslim woman saying she has this problem. Never. You know why, don't you? Because you don't know what she looks like at all. Because she has a veil. Bro, I can tell you how wild y'all was shot. She has a veil on. I've seen a Muslim woman where they hide the eyes. I remember one time walking down the street out, and the eyes were hidden. And I said, how in the hell is she walking? And she got by me. You could see the eyes part. It was like a mesh. It was like a mesh part. She was covered head to toe. You couldn't see her eyes. Now, you could still see she had a body under there. Nobody is trying to talk to her. Why? Because they know when she walks up, she is not playing with other men. It's clear. Muslim women in America, nobody says you don't. Even when you notice that there is a nice body under that Muslim garb, who in the hell is trying to talk to a Muslim woman? No one. You say, damn, she probably bad under there, but you ain't saying nothing to her because you know that she is a zealot. You understand? You know, if she comes in, she's a zealot. UPK women, you better become zealots. You better become the kind of woman that men go, ooh, she in that UPK. I can see how she's dressed. If she's in that UPK, she's a zealot. She's not here to get oh, you look good today. Oh, you looking nice. Oh, hey, she's not here for that. She's not here. And the way you dress will tell men whether or not you want male attention. Everybody understands. That's step one. After that, it's how you talk. It's when you go and talk to them. If you're all flirty, some of you sisters are flirty. You flirty. Like when a man talks to you, it's and that men can tell that you want their attention. And some of you women are attention whores. You're a whore for attention. You go on that Facebook page, you're a whore for attention. You need everybody to talk to you and like you and get to know you. And your self-esteem is wrapped up in attention from men. And people can notice it. And if they notice it, you're not making any money. Okay, that's my counsel on the whole matter. Brothers, you got to help a woman with this because her mom was a slut and her mom taught her to act like this. But if you are flirting on a job, I'm fine, warrior. If you're flirting, if you're dressed in a way that's inappropriate, you're not going to make the kind of money that you could make if men only see you as a partner for business. You're not going to make that kind of money. You're not. Because one, when you don't have sex with that man, he's going to be angry with you. He's going to be upset. And he's going to not want to work with you anymore because he will feel rejected by you. He'll feel like, damn, she dresses like that. She flirts with me, but she still wouldn't go out with me. I don't want to work with her anymore. When there's another woman that they look at her like she's not sexual, she's an automaton. She's a robot. She's like a Muslim woman. Just think about that type of woman. And you can dress like that, walk in there, and everybody knows all you are is what's in your mind. That's you. All you are was what's in your mind and the hustle and determination you have to bring your husband money. And you can do that, but you won't have the compliments and the flirtatious day that you like to have with your work husband. That's all I can do for you, all right? Stop being a whore. Next question. Come on. Let me get a badge in the back. Come on.
Mike? Salakia, sir, I had a question about Psalms 91. I wanted to, a brother had mentioned something and I got disagreement. Basically, if Big Bahan won't save you in the grocery store, only this being in the school will.
Say it again.
A big behind won't save you in the grocery store. Only being in the school will.
No, yeah, that won't save you in the grocery store. Give him a hand. No, having your butt. Either one. That won't save you in there, bro. No.
I shared it and I got some pushback on it. The scripture I used was Psalms 90:1, and what you were talking about really it goes into this. I wanted to know, like, what are the
pushback meaning about the buffalo?
Meaning, like, how can the school protect you in that day? Like, it was just a random event, like meaning like that could have been anyone going to the store.
Yeah, exactly. It could have. The Most High has to protect you, and you don't get protection if you don't earn it.
Right.
That's all. You just want to think like that. You get what you pay for.
Kind of
like anything else. If that's your point, I don't know about the pushback and whatever y'all were talking about. But here's the stance of the UPK: you are going to die if you don't keep the commandments of God.
Right.
Whether it's in the grocery store or the hospital bed or in your own bed, you're going to die an untimely death if you don't get the protection of God by keeping the commandments. That's the school's official stance. You understand?
Sir. And I also wanted to bring up in the because I was using Psalms 91, the 91st chapter, the secret places of the Most High, to show that this school is the place you want to be. And I was gonna go into the fact that COVID's coming up, and I wanted to know if you were aware with what's going on with monkeypox. Like, I'm not too familiar with it. Like, is it even that serious of a
Oh, it's serious. You get the monkeypox, it's far worse. That's something you get in Zaire. That's a crazy, ridiculous disease to get. Monkeypox. It's like remember that old Ebola was out? That was another. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that. That Ebola came over here to America, brother. They were scared to death. You don't want Ebola. You take 2 cases of COVID-19 before you take Ebola. Because Ebola is ridiculous. Well, monkeypox is right there with Ebola. Damn, you don't want any of that. You better serve the You better get in this truth before the monkeypox gets you.
Johnson. So, were there any specific verses you would suggest I go into in that chapter?
Monkeypox. Use all of your COVID-19 precepts. Every plague scripture that you already have for COVID-19. When these new plagues come, you go straight to your plague precepts, the disease precepts, the same precepts. That's all you need. All right? Come on, Asher.
Council, we have a bunch of questions online, but Colleen. Officer Karab and Colleen have a bunch of questions to ask, sir.
Come on, Colleen. Let's go.
Salaki, sir. I have a question on Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. I want to know what it means when it says, "Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways."
Okay, you want me to break that down for you?
I can read it for you, sir, if you like.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked one thy ways.
Break it down for you.
Sir, Baba Kasha.
Why trimmest thou thy ways? To trim your ways to seek love means, let's imagine I have all of my ways right here. My customs, my culture, those are your ways. But you cut off your culture so that they will accept you. That's trimming your ways, right? Things that you would do that they don't like when you do them, so you stop doing them, right? They don't like when you don't celebrate Christmas. They want you to celebrate Christmas. They want you to celebrate birthdays. They want you to do these things, even though it's not your culture to do it. But you know that they like it. And so to fit in, you do these things, which means you trim or cut off parts of your own culture. There are things that you don't do because they don't like it. Growing your hair is one of them. Growing your hair is something they don't like as men. They don't like that. Right? When you grow your hair, every Edomite culture has tried to cut your hair or bald your head to make you look more acceptable to them. Having your hair low, it's like in their mind, it civilizes you. You're not like wild. You're not a barbarian anymore, right? They don't like that. You're more, you're fearful. They're afraid of you. So you cut your beard and you cut your hair so you can fit in. Really, if I could just sum up Christianity and society and the world, it's high school peer pressure. It's the same thing. If you want to fit into high school, what do you have to do now? Now you got to have sex with that girl. You got to smoke weed in the bathroom. You got to cut class. You can't be some square that doesn't cut class. Then it's like you won't fit in. So there's a certain amount of sin you have to do in high school to make the other kids like you. Because if you don't do it, they'll make fun of you. That's the world. That doesn't stop when you leave high school. It just keeps going. There'll be things you have to do. Sisters, you're so susceptible to it, but brothers are. You can't have a man that has another woman. What? And be stupid? That's high school. If your husband has another woman, what are you? Stupid. Dummy. He has another wife and you accept it. You dumb. You stupid. You a booby head. That's high school. That's high school. And you sisters will go, no, he don't have another wife. No, I'm not in that group. No, I don't know anything about it. No. I'm one of the cool kids. No. I'm just like the rest of y'all. No. I go out too. No. I'm out there doing my thing too, like the rest of you. We going out and we going to this and this. Yeah, I'm going too. I'm going out too. I'm wearing a short dress just like the rest of you. Yeah, I'm not different. Don't ostracize me. I want friends. I need girls to be my friend. And now you go and sin and slut so other girls can go, ha, girl, you doing it. You ain't letting no man tell you what to do. No sweat. You just keep on doing it. You don't know what happens to the cool kids in high school when they graduate, do you? Right. Everybody know? I don't got to tell the grown people in there, do I? What happened to all the cool? What happened to Pretty Ricky and them? Cool Tyreek, Shay Biz, oh my God. Sean Kirks, James Hannibal, I remember all of them. Oh, they were the man. Oh my God, they was the man. They're not even people anymore. You understand? The worms ate them. All of the coolest cats in high school. The ones all the girls wanted. Yeah, they're not even humans anymore, Rob. Yeah, the worms ate them. The worms digested them a long time ago. Take it. The water. Keep going. Go ahead. Next question. Did I answer the question? I don't even remember if I did. Go ahead.
Khan, sir, I was wondering. I was wondering what it meant when it says, "Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways."
So in doing so, in trying to give up our culture, what did we have to do to make them accept us? Give them our culture. Oh, you know what? All nations can be saved. You also can be an Israelite. Excuse me, I have a question. Can white people be saved too? Now you at an impasse. Because if you give the wrong answer, he won't like you. He'll be angry. They won't want to be your friend. So what do you have to say? Well, whosoever worships God can be saved. Oh, thank you. You're one of the good black people. Oh, you're a good Hispanic. Oh, now I can agree with you guys. Oh, you accept us. Okay. And that's why fake Israelite groups inevitably will accept white people. They will do it because they don't want to reject white people, because rejecting white people makes them angry. And when they get angry, there'll be some repercussion for it. So eventually you're going to let everybody wear a shield of David. You're going to teach like the GOCC. They were famous for that, stupid ass Ricard. He wanted to be accepted by white people. So of course he accepts white people then. Why? Because he doesn't want to reject them. Because when you reject them, there's repercussions. Repercussions that we welcome in here. We welcome. I don't know if you know it. We don't need new members. Right. We got enough members. Right. We got enough people in here. We don't need to recruit. You don't have to come in here. You can stay in the goddamn world where you are. That's all. I would rather increase the number of enemies than increase the number of friends. I would rather do that. But that's just me. I'm saying we should do that. Okay, but I would just much rather have someone to fight. I have enough brothers to fight with me. I'm rich in brothers. but enemies are looking, lacking. I'm lacking enemies right now. So I'd much rather you become an enemy than become a friend, but that's just me. I'm not saying you should do that. But the point I am trying to make is we don't care if you join. you get the point. That's irrelevant to us. But if you're the GOCC or them purple faggots, some brother told me that the purple group, the Israelite United in Jesus Christ,
Something like that.
Israelite United in Christ, that they wear purple because Christ wore a purple robe. Some brother just told me that in Philly like 2 days ago. Christ wore a purple robe.
If I may, yeah, Nate gave a breakdown years ago, I believe, some scripture where Christ comes down with a purple robe.
I got you. I'll give you let me tell you where Christ wore a purple robe. The Romans put a purple robe on him with the crown of thorns. And all because of that, these fools went and started to worship purple. I'm done. Okay, here's my point I'm trying to make. We give other people our ways because we're trying to fit in with them. And so we give them our culture. We allow them to come into the truth. We allow them to join us so that we don't have to reject them, because rejecting them might make them angry with us. You understand, Texas?
Count the water, sir. Also, there's a
Edomites got in any Israelite thing. And remember, the truth, or what you call today the Christian church, started as an Israelite thing. That the disciples at that time let white people come in. And now you have the Christian church. Come on, Texas.
Count, sir. We also have a sister in the room who has a question.
Go ahead, sis.
Yeah.
Lucky sir, how was the Ottawa or husband and Rib's way to salvation when on Judgment Day we are to stand alone before the Most High?
I'm sorry, Warrior, I didn't hear her. She said something on Judgment Day. What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you come right here. Grab her, give her the microphone.
Lucky sir. How was the Ottawa or husband a Rib's way to salvation when on Judgment Day we are going to stand before the Most High alone?
How is say that again? How is what?
How is the husband the Rib's way to salvation on Judgment Day?
Meaning, how does a wife how is a wife say what?
She's asking, the sister's asking, how is a husband the salvation for a woman if on Judgment Day we all have to stand before God?
How is a husband a wife's way to salvation? Okay, okay. A husband is not your way to salvation. You got to earn your own salvation. You're not going to get on the chariots because of who you're married to. I don't know. Did someone teach you that?
It was said in class before. I just had a question about it.
Okay, you might be misunderstanding something. What you're probably misunderstanding is 1 Corinthians 11, where the Most High God says that the unbelieving wife is cleansed because of the believing husband, and vice versa, or else will the children be born cursed. So meaning, if you don't believe in the Lord and your spouse does, the Most High will cleanse the unbelieving person, because if he didn't, he would have to curse the child for being the seed of evildoers. Have to curse the kid. So he will cleanse the one, meaning he will not punish the child for the sin of the parent. That's precept. You might have been referring to that. But to get in the kingdom of heaven, you're gonna have to do the right thing, no matter who you're married to. If you're married to a brother, because of course, sister, imagine being married to a brother in the truth, right? But then you're on Facebook talking to other men, flirting with other men with fake Facebook accounts, talking to men. Are you going to make the kingdom because of who your husband is, sister? Sister.
La sir.
That wouldn't make any sense. If your husband is in the truth, but you are smoking weed and popping pills when he goes to camp, you're not going to make the kingdom just because you're married to him. You understand that, right?
Come.
Yeah, the Bible doesn't say that. The Lord said, seek out thy own soul salvation.
Right.
Now, in most cases, your husband is the one that taught you the truth, right? You have an obligation to your husband based in the truth. But you also have an obligation to your children based in the truth, and your brothers and sisters in the school based in the truth. Your husband is one major person that you have to love, but he's not the only one. What about a sister that her husband tells her to leave the school? What if your husband one day says, listen, baby, I'm your husband, and God said you have to obey me. So now we're going to leave the school and worship the color orange. Now, because of the orange sunset, we're all going to wear orange, and we're going to leave the truth and now all wear orange. What should you do if your husband tells you to leave the truth, sister?
Don't leave the truth.
You can't, because you got to work out your own soul salvation.
Right.
You can't sin because your husband tells you to sin, just like a brother can't sin because his wife wants him to sin. Your wife wants you to leave the school. She wants you to leave the truth. Your mother wants you to leave the truth. You can't do it for them. And you cannot obey your husband in sin. You cannot do it. If you do it, you're going to die. And not like a little girl who just listened to the wrong man. You're going to be killed like someone who was grown and did the wrong thing. Everybody understands. If you want to be a woman, you got to not infantilize yourself like, you get into heaven because you're married to him. That's not how it works. Your husband taught you the truth, and you're obligated to him. And you're obligated to your kids and to the school and to your nation. And you meet your obligation with every person in your life. Just like your husband has an obligation to you and to his brothers and to his kids and to his nation. And you meet that obligation to each one of them as God commanded you. But you don't get to make the kingdom of heaven just because you're in the UPK. That's not how this works. You don't get to say, well, Lord, I'm in the UPK. Yeah, and you smoked weed the whole time. And you had sex with whores the whole time. And you smoked cigarettes the whole time. You're dying. You can't fool him into association that you'll save your life because you're associated with the school. You didn't live the way the school told you to live. And now it's time to die in the market. Now it's time. You understand, sis, right? So if you thought that that's incorrect, you're going to have to keep the commandments just like your husband. Or you're going to have to keep them better than him if your husband is lacking in that area. Everyone understand? Next. God deserve. Damn, I was supposed to do the damn 4 horsemen to Zarya.
It's 901.
I'll get it next time, all right? Go ahead.
So like I said, I got a question about...
you know what you need for the 4 horsemen? You need Revelation 6, and here's the key. Zechariah, the 6th chapter, especially I think the 4th verse, where it says these are spirits. Those are the same horses. Exact. One of them is gristled and bay. The other one is pale. That's the same thing. It's just gristle is grizzly, like an old death horse. That's the death. That's the horseman of the death that's coming at the end, right? Bay means he has a different coat than his mane, right? Usually, go ahead.
Because people trying to pin it to like they wanted to be Christianity, they wanted to be the Nazis, they wanted to be this, they wanted to be that.
That's
instead of just
theories,
teaching, right? Exactly.
It's not
instead
that.
of just teaching what it says.
It's not that. It's just what it says. Death, famine, blah, blah, blah. You understand. All right, come on. There you go. Shalom. He's just breaking it down. The Spanish word for gray is grizz. It just means like, gnarly, just a horse that's just terrible and dead and jammed up. You should break it through water. All right. Next.
It's 902, sir.
Oh,
902. Kadazai, what do we have?
Oh, yes, sir. Salaki. So in Deuteronomy 34, 5 and 6, when it talks about the burial of Moses,
Mm-hmm.
can I just get a breakdown just to make sure I know what I'm reading here?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 5. So Moses, the servant of the Most High, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Most High. And he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, over against Beth-peor. But no man knoweth of his sepulchre unto this day. So when it talks about him being buried, so that is that when it says no man knew where he was buried on to this day, right? but it's saying that the Lord buried him.
Mhm.
So was that literally the Lord buried him, or was that the servants that were closest to Moses?
That's the servants.
Okay, okay.
And remember, Mahayaman and Shatan fought over his bones.
Yes, sir.
Because Mahayaman wanted to take those bones, dig them up, and take them into the promised land to give him an honorable burial there, where you would know where his sepulcher was. But Moses received a dishonorable burial outside of the land of Israel, and his grave was not marked. He received a dishonorable death. You understand?
Because I was talking to a Christian,
Mhm.
and that because of like that whole no man knoweth where he's buried,
Mhm.
like they took that like the Lord buried him, and you know what I'm saying, like the conversation came up about what happened in Jude with that conversation.
You mean like when you say the Lord, meaning the Lord, like with his magic, put him in the
Yeah,
hole?
and that's what I told. I said it's not magic. I said those who would have been closest to him would have buried him, and it just wasn't. That's what I said. I said it wasn't like a marked grave, whereas they would come back and visit. And I gave like a comparison to like Sheol.
I don't care.
Okay.
The Lord, guess what? The Most High is going to bury them.
Yes, sir.
He's going to bury them. It's going to be a magic burial. The Most High is going to get him a magic burial lot. All of them. With the monkeypox and the COVID-19. And when they go into the supermarket, they're going to get a magical burial the next time they shop in that supermarket.
God damn, sir.
What can I do? I don't know. I got to fight magic and shit like that. I don't know. I mean, come on, man. We dying in the supermarket. Imagine getting in the battle, Katazar, about magic burials while we're getting shot with real physical bullets. And I mean, I just don't have the gift for that. I never had the gift for all that conspiracy nonsense. And sometimes people call me about it, and I feel bad that I'm even talking to them. Who asked me a question? I know I offended whoever this was. I forget who it was. Might be somebody in here. I don't know. Salaki. Because it all drifts together in my brain. It was like something about something historical or the Coochie Coochin, some Mexican tribes or something. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even care about none of that. I care about not getting shot in the market. Like I don't know what that is. And it was something about the Mexican tribes or who cares? I don't want my people to get shot in the market.
Okay.
I don't want my people to be on heroin and Oxycontin and crystal meth. Now, as far as the secret Mexican tribes and what they did, Lord be with them. They're not here. I would assume they own heroin if they're here or Oxycontin. That's my work. Now, there's other brothers, y'all brothers, keep doing y'all work with that old conspiracy things. That's just not something I can help you with because I could care less about it. Okay, but you brothers that care about it, you battle those Christians. I can teach them that, of course, burials are done all the time. Those 10 people, they're probably going to go into graves at funeral parlors, right? That's probably what's going to happen. And their mother and their grandmother who died of the COVID-19 virus, that probably wasn't a magical burial. And their uncles and their brothers and their cousins and the people in high school, that probably was not a magical burial. So I will focus on them. Hell, maybe Moses, it was a poof of dust and he got under the ground. Okay, I got to keep going. Is any other questions? Anything else, Asher? Go ahead, please. No problem. What time I got to wrap it up now?
9:15, sir. Baba
Come on.
A brother, Officer Kassar Pakad wants to know, sir, if he can get a breakdown on Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17, verse 28, and if this can be used for Thanksgiving.
Go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 17, verse 28.
Whenever you have it, read it.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17, what verse on?
28, sir.
28. Verse 28. Thanksgiving perisheth from the dead, as from one that is not. The living and sound in heart shall praise the Most High.
Okay, that's not the topic of it. The topic is talking about how it's better to be alive than dead. That's the point. This is not about the so-called holiday of Thanksgiving. It's probably better that you understand what this is talking about than to apply it to Thanksgiving. This is not a Thanksgiving precept at all. All right. Now let me see. Could you use it for Thanksgiving? Okay. To use it for Thanksgiving, you'd have to bring up the murder of Thanksgiving, the real history of Thanksgiving, which is about the murder of our brothers, the tribe of Gad, the so-called indigenous people. Now, if you brung that up, then you could use it for Thanksgiving to say it's better that those Gadites were not murdered than that we have a day about Thanksgiving. Then you could use it for Thanksgiving. Let me listen to it one more time to see. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 17.
Give me 2 verses above it.
Verse 26. Turn again to the Most High. Turn away from iniquity.
This is what it's about. It's about repentance, changing. Don't get high. Don't smoke weed. Don't be a homosexual. Don't be a lesbian. Don't be a gay man. Don't dress like a whore. Don't eat pork and eat shrimp and eat crab. Don't murder. Don't lie. Don't steal. That's what this is about. That changes life. That, to amend your ways, to repent for what you've done in the past, to be strong against the seduction that causes people to be harmful to their kids, harmful to their community. Continue.
For he will lead thee out of darkness.
Come on, man. We're in darkness right now. There's no baby formula, and your job makes you go back to work after 6 weeks. You have a child, you have to go back to your slavery after 6 weeks. And doctors say you need to breastfeed for about 6 months to a year. Well, what in the hell are you going to do? You have to go back to work. So what do? You have to go to formula. Well, guess what? There is no formula. That's a real problem, Mark. That ain't spooky nonsense. That's not the Kubla Coon tribe of the Kubla Coons. That's not Moses got buried by a puff of smoke, put Moses in the goddamn ground. That's your kid starving.
Right.
That's that. Well, if you don't want your kid to starve, you better serve God so you can come out of darkness. Continue.
Into the light of health.
Into the what?
Light of health.
Unto the light of health. You don't want your kids to starve and your kids to die? Then you need God's help. Your behavior is causing God to hurt you. It's doing it. There is a direct response from your behavior to how God treats you. And to know that empowers you, and it can save your life. Continue.
And hate thy abomination vehemently.
You have to hate thy abominations vehemently. That's an old Commander General Yohana word, vehemently. Meaning that you hate your sin, with everything you have. My God, you have to hate crab. I remember years ago, it was some brother who was in the truth. I pushed him out the truth as fast as I can in the name of the Lord. But he was in the truth. And we were in the car with Commander General Yohana, and he went and bought a bag of crab potato chips. And he brought that mess in the car. And Commander General Yohana turned and said, "What are you eating?" He said, "No, I read the ingredients. There's no crab in that." He said, "What in the who gives a damn?" A lot of you out there want to eat that fake crab too, that old imitation crab. You always calling me about that. You love the smell of crab, don't you? You can't get crab, so you want to find imitation crab just so you can pretend you're eating crab.
Seasoning.
See, just so you can just smell the abomination. You need it in your nose. You like, well, it's not real crab. It smells like it. It tastes like it. You a pig. You're a rutting hog. Don't you hate the smell of crab?
I do. Yeah.
Don't you hate it?
Constantly.
You don't hate Old Bay? You better hate Old Bay. You better hate that crab smell. You should hate it. Now, if you brought to you how to why y'all was shy. Now, if it has no crab in it, are you sinning? No, you're not sinning. But you don't hate it vehemently. It should make you sick, the smell of shrimp and crab. What are you brothers out there doing? Do you date a woman in the world and she orders a shrimp cocktail and you sitting at a table with a woman who's eating shrimp at your table? How do you brothers go on dates? I would love to understand it. Because from what I hear, if you sitting at a table with a woman, she's a whore. She's in the world. You met her on Facebook. And when it comes time to order, do you let her order the lobster and the shrimp scampi? Ugh, like the thought of it is like, if you eat shrimp, your vagina stinks. That's a fact. It stinks. It's unpleasant it's odious. It's olfactory unpleasant. It's give him a hand. Shalai Allison, it smells like Old Bay. You correct. Damn, you don't tell the bit, you don't say, blah, blah, blah. No, you can't order. Don't put that on my table. I wish I could be, some of you brothers is dating these whores and you letting them order shrimp and crab. I wish I could just walk into the restaurant and catch you. Like, I wish oh my God. I would love to just show up one day with my ribs and go, hey, Shalom, you help by Shimmy. Okay. I'll see you Thursday. Ooh. Well, I would love to just catch you eating with that woman. You Shalom, same. This is Tamika. Ooh, God, one day I'm gonna catch you brothers doing that. And I'm gonna thank the Lord for it. I'm gonna thank him. Reading on. The point is you gotta hate sin. You gotta hate sluts and whores and women dressed inappropriately. You gotta hate the things that other people are in love with because of the pleasure it brings. Continue.
Who shall praise the Most High in the grave?
Now we talking. Here's the topic. Are you gonna praise God in the grave? You love God so much, don't you? Oh, you're in the truth and you love God, you love Jesus. Who shall praise him in the grave? Instead of those people worrying about whether Moses' burial was magical or physical, who will be at their burial? That's what they should worry about, Katazar. You understand, right? Who will be there for them? Because they're going to die. Now, will their burial be a magical burial like Moses? Or will their burial be a physical burial like their mama, their cousin, their friends, their uncle, their father, their cousins, their nephews, everybody on their block? Either way, they're dead, Doc. Right? I don't want none of that burial. I don't want the magical one or the physical one. I want to see my enemies gone. I don't want a magical burial. I don't want a physical one. I want to survive this. Now you ask yourself whether or not you do. Continue.
Instead of them which live and give thanks.
Oh, then, but if you're alive, now you're thanking the Most High for the life he gave you. But you're going to die if you don't hate sin. That's what this precept is about. Now, can you make this about Thanksgiving? You better get this point first because it's the more important part. Now, then you have to go to those brothers and sisters who the pilgrims killed. They would have much rather been alive. They would rather live. They would rather not have been poisoned and slaughtered like the people in that supermarket, because that's what happened to our brothers, the so-called North American Indian. They were slaughtered. They were peaceful and kind and humble and helped the so-called white man. And they were killed and slaughtered for it. Right? They would much rather be alive. I pray you understand that. Go ahead. With that, pass the class over to priest officer the guard.
Men of Israel, Mahayaman, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to get one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Mahayaman Shabbat. Yajimatah, which means hands down, shawl face sisters. Sisters, Mahayaman, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mahayaman Shabbat. Amadio, Barak,
Yahweh Shamal, Hashem Yahushua.
Yajimatah, which means hands down, class dismissed.